All right, so I had somebody call me out in the messages says Marantz, Nvidia, their cash is 57 billion, not 11 billion. I just want to show you, okay? So here's your balance sheet for Nvidia. If you look, yes, 11 billion dollars, okay? Cash, 11 billion. They do have 57 billion, but that's going to be with their short-term investments. So they'd have to sell it off to get the cash. But I got that. My problem was that they're giving half of this cash to Coreweave to prop up their sheet. And Nvidia, for it being the number one company in the world, I'm just going to give you this. I'm just going to show you this, guys. Net cash per share. Okay, net cash per share. They're at $1.88 a share. Absolutely criminal. Not even. I mean, basically 1% of their shares are cash. I couldn't even explain to you how bad that is. But when we go to Coreweave, this is criminal here. Coreweave is a company that is worth $62 billion, propped up by Nvidia. It's their own investment. Just so that we're clear, Nvidia's portfolio consists of 91% of Coreweave, and they own 6% of Coreweave. This is why we say round tripping, okay? Revenue, all of that revenue right there, 70% of the revenue stems from two companies, Nvidia and Microsoft. Terrible. I hope they don't change their plans. I hope they don't change their plans and this changes up their business. But these guys are negative $1 billion in net income, okay? And so, terrible sheet. It's the worst sheet you've ever seen in your life. This pump of funds to hold each other up is something like I've never seen in my life. So the balance sheet is here, and we can go ahead and look at it. They had $1 billion, and I'll explain what these numbers are when I highlight them. Okay, this is CoreWeave's current assets, almost $4 billion. I'll just call it $4 billion. Okay, $4 billion on current assets, guys. Now I know everything's plant and property. I get it. They have $26 billion worth of total assets, but current assets is $4 billion. I want you to see what their liabilities are. Total current liabilities, 7.5. They are negative $3.5 billion on ops. They literally cannot run this company this way. And so for it to be a negative $3 billion current assets versus current liabilities, then you see they have $7.5 billion of debt. They just went public this year. When they went public with this debt, and people said, this sounds great. This sounds like a company I want to invest in. Guys, let me tell you how much working capital they're lacking. Retained earnings is negative $2 billion, which has increased from negative 1.4. They've increased it $600 million in a half a year. But we'll go down to shareholder equity. That's 3.8, right? And you go, well, there's a little bit of value there, 3.8. Not for the price you see, and not for the cash on hand, the shares on hand. But they are working with $13 billion of net cash debt. $13 billion. They are $27 negative on cash. I'm just letting you know what it is, and then book value is 545. So 545. So they are literally trading, and I'm going to show it to you just so you guys can see how crazy this is for a company that just went public. Their price to book is trading $22.19. The ratio on price to book is that exactly. So they're selling at 10x on sales and 22 times book. Are we clear how terrible this is? I hope you guys understand what I'm saying to you. They're negative, flat, and negative. This is not an investment you make at all, Coreweave. And I get it. Nvidia pumped a crazy amount of money into them just recently, almost $7 billion. That was my issue. Sorry, guys. I was going to finish the video, but I got a phone call. I got to go handle something. Anyway, their book value was coming in at 22x. That was the point. 22x times the price of the stock. So let me explain to you. Coreweave is a private equity's wet dream. Coreweave is a brand new IPO company that operates at negative $3.5 billion on current ratio. They literally are $13 billion in the hole per share. Cash per share, they're negative, like, I don't even know, $30. And yet they're giving valuation of $60 billion in market cap and only $3 billion revenue. It's absolutely ridiculous. GameStop, $3 billion revenue, all the cash in the world, and they're not carrying all this debt. And I'm talking about this operational debt that would actually make you devalued. Nope, but GameStop's not pumped by Nvidia. These guys are. GameStop didn't leverage their whole company and their shares to buy other terrible companies like Core Specific. I don't know if you guys know that deal, but they did it for billions and billions of dollars. This is not the same business. This business is reliant on like two customers for 70% of all their revenue. That's unfathomable. Like, you couldn't even imagine. But I'm just letting you know, like, valuations are not correct right now. Things are really wrong. Coreweave is a crime in itself. Coreweave is round tripping, and Nvidia is round tripping via Coreweave. And this is so true that people are denying it until they see it, and then they can't unsee it. And then they say, well, so what do we do about it? You just wait. You just wait for the inevitable. But I'll be here. I'll be here when Coreweave implodes. I'll be here when Nvidia implodes. And I'll just tell you, I told you so. Peace. And I thought I was done, but I'm not, because I wanted to say this one last part. The fact that the number one company in the world is only 1% cash, what are they doing with all the other money? The executives are taking it all. No one's prepared for the storm coming. They're just getting fat off the hog right now. And they have taken every dollar out of that stock. So for it to sit there with like $10 billion of cash, they're a $4.5 trillion company. How in the hell can you justify not having a safety net? And their safety net is what? Their own assets? They don't really have assets like you guys think they do. It's gross over there. I just showed you $1.88 per share. GameStop's net cash. I won't even do, like we always do this, right? Well, GameStop's $21 cash per share because look at all the money they have. They have $11 billion coming to them. They're going to be $22 per share. No. Listen to me. Even net cash for GameStop is $7.50 per share. That's how much better it is than every investment out there, including Nvidia. Remember, I told you. Or don't.